Wild budgerigars average 18 centimeters, 7 in, long, weigh 30 to 40 grams, 30 centimeters, 12 in wingspan, and display a light green body color, abdomen and rumps. While their mantles, back and wing covers, display pitch black mantle markings. Blackish in fledglings and immatures, edged in clear yellow undulations. The forehead and face is yellow in adults. Prior to their adult plumage, young individuals have blackish stripes down to the cere, nose, in young individuals until around 3 to 4 months of age. They display small, iridescent blue-violet cheek patches and a series of 3 black spots across each side of their throats, called throat patches. The 2 outermost throat spots are situated at the base of each cheek patch. The tail is cobalt, dark blue, and outside tail feathers display central yellow flashes. Their wings have greenish-black flight feathers and black covers with yellow fringes along with central yellow flashes, which only become visible in flight or when the wings are outstretched. Bills are olive gray and legs bluish-gray, with zygodactyl toes. In their natural Australian habitat, budgerigars are noticeably smaller than those in captivity. This particular parrot species has been bred in many other colors and shades in captivity, e.g. blue, gray, gray-green, pied, violet, white, yellow-blue. Pet store individuals will commonly be blue, green, or yellow. Like most parrot species, budgerigar plumage fluoresces under ultraviolet light, a phenomenon possibly related to courtship and mate selection. The upper half of their beaks is taller than the bottom half, covering the bottom when closed. The beak does not protrude much, due to the thick, fluffy feathers surrounding it, giving the appearance of a downward-pointing beak that lies flat against the face. The upper half acts as a long, smooth cover, while the bottom half is just about a half-sized cup piece. These beaks allow the birds to eat plants, fruits, and vegetables. The color of the cere, the area containing the nostrils, differs between the sexes, being royal blue in males, pale brown to white, non-breeding, or brown, breeding, in females, and pink in immatures of both sexes, usually of a more even purplish-pink color in young males. Some female budgerigars develop brown cere only during breeding time, which later returns to the normal color. Young females can often be identified by a subtle, chalky whiteness that starts around the nostrils. Males that are either albino, lutino, dark-eyed clear or recessive pied, Danish pied or harlequin, always retain the immature purplish-pink cere color their entire lives. Behaviors and head shape also help indicate sex. Veterinarians can determine the sex of a bird by invasive examination or samples of blood, feather, or eggshell. Mature males usually have a cere of light to dark blue, but in some particular color mutations it can be purplish to pink, including dark-eyed clears, Danish pied, recessive pied, and enos, which usually display much rounder heads. The behavior of males can distinguish them from females. Males are typically cheerful, extroverted, highly flirtatious, peacefully social, and very vocal. Female ceres are pinkish while immature. As they age, they move from being beigeish or whitish outside breeding condition into brown, often with a crusty texture, in breeding condition and usually display flattened backs of heads, right above the nape. Females are more dominant and less socially tolerant. This behavior is more pronounced around other females than with males. Budgerigars have tetrachromatic color vision, although all 4 classes of cone cells will not operate simultaneously unless under sunlight or a UV lamp. The ultraviolet spectrum brightens their feathers to attract mates. The throat spots in budgerigars reflect UV and can be used to distinguish individual birds. While ultraviolet light is essential to the good health of caged and pet birds, inadequate darkness or rest results in overstimulation. Breeding in the wild generally takes place between June and September in northern Australia and between August and January in the south. Although budgerigars are opportunistic breeders and respond to rains when grass seeds become most abundant, they show signs of affection to their flockmates by preening or feeding one another. Budgerigars feed one another by eating the seeds themselves, and then regurgitating it into their flockmate's mouth. Populations in some areas have increased as a result of increased water availability at farms. Nests are made in holes in trees, fence posts or logs lying on the ground. The 4 to 6 eggs are incubated for 18 to 21 days, with the young fledging about 30 days after hatching. In the wild, virtually all parrot species require a hollow tree or a hollow log as a nest site. 5. Because of this natural behavior, budgerigars most easily breed in captivity when provided with a reasonable-sized nest box. The eggs are typically 1 to 2 centimeters long and are pearl white without any coloration if fertile. Female budgerigars can lay eggs without a male partner, but these unfertilized eggs will not hatch. Females normally have a whitish tan cere. However, when the female is laying eggs, her cere turns a crusty brown color. Certain female budgies may always keep a whitish tan cere or always keep a crusty brown cere regardless of breeding condition. A female budgerigar will lay her eggs on alternating days. After the first one, there is usually a 2-day gap until the next. She will usually lay between 4 and 8 eggs, which she will incubate, usually starting after laying her second or third, for about 21 days each. Females only leave their nests for very quick defecations, stretches and quick meals once they have begun incubating and are by then almost exclusively fed by their mate, usually at the nest's entrance. Females will not allow a male to enter the nest, unless he forces his way inside. Clutch size ranges from 6 to 8 chicks. Depending on the clutch size and the beginning of incubation, the age difference between the first and last hatchling can be anywhere from 9 to 16 days. At times, the parents may begin eating their own eggs due to feeling insecure in the nest box. There is evidence of same-sex sexual behavior amongst male budgerigars. It is originally hypothesized that they did this as a form of courtship practice. So they were better breeding partners for females. However, an inverse relationship exists between participation in same-sex behavior and pairing success. Breeding difficulties arise for various reasons. Some chicks may die from diseases and attacks from adults. Other budgerigars, virtually always females, may fight over the nest box, attacking each other or a brood. Another problem may be the bird's beaks being underlapped, where the lower mandible is above the upper mandible. Most health issues and physical abnormalities in budgerigars are genetic. Care should be taken that birds used for breeding are active, healthy and unrelated. Budgerigars that are related or have fatty tumors or other potential genetic health problems should not be allowed to breed. Parasites, lice, mites, worms, and pathogens, bacteria, fungi and viruses, are contagious and thus transmitted between individuals through either direct or indirect contact. Nest boxes should be cleaned between uses. Splay leg is a relatively common problem in baby budgerigars and other birds. One of the budgerigar's legs is bent outward, which prevents it from being able to stand properly and compete with the other chicks for food, and can also lead to difficulties in reproducing in adulthood. The condition is caused by young budgerigars slipping repeatedly on the floor of a nest box. It is easily avoided by placing a small quantity of a safe bedding or wood shavings in the bottom of the nest box. Alternatively, several pieces of paper may be placed in the box for the female to chew into bedding. Eggs take about 18 to 20 days before they start hatching. The hatchlings are altricial, blind, naked, unable to lift their head and totally helpless. And their mother feeds them and keeps them warm constantly. Around 10 days of age, the chick's eyes will